Hi, this is Bruce, and welcome to my tutorial on the MILVIZ Beechcraft Baron 55 and the E55 version, which has the larger engine, faster speeds and climb rates. This is a personal video for me. It's not so much that it's a difficult plane to operate, it's just remembering where everything is. So probably in under 10 minutes I'll have a sub-taxi ready, and I'm hopeful that for me it's helpful in the future, as I haven't flown this for maybe months at a time, and good to get a real refresher, and I hope that in the sim community it might benefit somebody else as well, so I'm sharing it. Any comments you have or insights or helpful things would be appreciated in the comments following. We can always learn from each other. So, just a little bit of background. P3D version 4.2, Chase Plane, Active Sky, Ultimate Traffic Live, and P3D's traffic are both at 100% general in aviation. Windows 10, i5 is overclocked. SSD drive, NVIDIA GTX 1070 in use. I'm not on VATSIM at the moment. I just love a lot of aircraft around me. Busy is a lot of fun. So I'm just going to run through the procedure real quick. We're outside, cold and dark. If you hit Shift 1, you can remove the chocks here by making that red button turn green, and the pitot tube engine covers click the same. There they go. If you want the two props, or you can keep it at 3, just leave it all green. And that's what I do, and I think that's a great place to be. Popping inside in the pilot and command position, we're going to rapidly run through our pre-flight checklist here. First, we're going to go ahead and, this isn't in a normal aircraft, obviously, but we're going to click away the yoke right there because it covers so much real estate that it gets in the way of any discussion. First, we're going to set our parking brake, which is right here. You can hear it ratchet out with a left click. We've already checked that our static elements are off outside there. Fuel selector now is on, and what we're going to do now, there are 2 tanks down here, left and right. And as long as these arrow-shaped red levers are pointing forward, you're on. If you were to click it to the outside with a right click in this case and a left click in that case, then they go to off position. Right click this one, brings it back to the middle. Right click it again, it's crossfeed. Same thing, left click, so the click is the direction that the arrow will point. You just don't want to make the mistake of turning off the tank fuel flow. We know what happens when we do. Then we're going to go ahead and open up our cowl flaps. They're right down here. You grab it and you pull, and you grab it and you pull. Fuel selectors we did. Battery now will be on. That's this one right here. It doesn't show any labeling, but it's the top of 3. The ones 2 down below that are our alternators. We'll get to those in a minute. Dash lights can be adjusted. There's a knob just underneath this rudder trim right there. It's the gauge lights here, and this one is the post lights, and this one is the panel lights. So just in case you're wondering how to get at those, that's where they're hiding. Then we're going to turn on our nav light, which is right here. We're going to hit the radio master switch, which is here. Throttles then are going to be half open. And this is interesting. A lot of them, the throttles are on the far left, closest to the pilot. Here they're right in the middle. Then the prop levers are going to be at low pitch. That'll be right there. It says low pitch here, just above that greenish section. And then the mixture levers are going to be full bridge. We'll just put those both to the top there. Auxiliary fuel pumps now can be turned on to high, and those are right here with a left click each. And then left magneto start switch to start. These do not click, or you can't click it, to get them to turn. You're going to grab it and then just roll it around and keep pulling on it until it comes to the start. Now you can see we've got it fired. And we're going to grab the other one, same technique, just pull it around to start. It's a little fussy. Turn on both of our generators. And we're going to set the trim. Takeoff trim, nose up, nose down. I just leave it alone. Flaps have 3 positions, up, mid, and full down. I tend to want to take off with the mid. You can go all the way down. This is where I want it. I guess it was already in the mid. That's full up, mid position, about 15 degrees. It's hard to read on that scale there, but the first click is good. Then we'll set our altimeter. I'm just going to press the B on my keyboard, or I could manually enter it like so if I choose to. And then also the radio and nav sets. And I'm not going to go into the Flight 1 GTN 750 here because realize it might be just germane to me, but I will say thank you, MILVIZ, for doing all the hard work to get this to fit in there. I know that Flight One and some other companies haven't been terribly helpful. So, again, I appreciate that. I guess future models that MILVIZ is going to put out aren't going to accommodate at least the F1 and a couple other models. So, we'll miss that, but it'll still
System
be a
test
pop-up.
OK.
There, that's the F1's GTN talking. Now we're going to go down here and turn on our taxi and our beacon. More properly, probably closer to the takeoff. But here's our landing lights as well when we get closer. We'll want to then also put in our altitude that we're aiming for. In this case, I'm going to bring it up to 17,000. There we go. 18,000. Too high. Let's just dial it back a smidge. There we go. And then and then when you up in the air, these ups and downs, these are your vertical speed rates. And I'm just going to start off with 1,000, something simple. It'll climb like crazy, so that'll obviously not be enough. The heading, nav, approach, alt, they're all there. So arm, vertical speed, all those are available. Over here, you've got your nav GPS switch, so you can go between the two. I'm going to leave it on nav to start, so it'll be controlled by my heading, and then arm active or not for this. So anyway, it's all working very well. And that's it. We're ready for taxi. It's incredibly fast. Just a couple of notes. You'll take off at 2,500 RPM, cruise climb at 122, autopilot, of course, as you are ready to do that. The oxygen needs to be used if you're at 30 minutes or more at 12,500. If you're up to 14,000, it's mandatory, and the oxygen on switch is down here. Right there, you can see it's red. Just pull that out, like so. Again, it's kind of a grab and pull. Maybe it doesn't want to grab and pull right now. It's being fussy, but it will move. There it goes. It's just very sensitive right now, but that'll be the oxygen fuel flow. Just a couple other words. Takeoff is at 84 knots. Best angle of climb is 84 knots. Best rate of climb is 107. Cruise climb is 122. Cruising itself is a 200. Max range is 1569. Ceiling is 20,688. Landing with flaps full is 90 knots, and landing with flaps up is 97 knots. And as you can see, the flap range is in this white arc right here. Well, thanks so much for joining me. I hope you have a great time enjoying yourself, and see you in the skies. Take care.